What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm looking at YouTube and I'm noticing a lot of you are not subscribed, but you're watching. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you smash that post notification bell so you can be notified every single time I drop a video. I know I've been slacking. I know you've only gotten a video once a week, but I am going to be uploading way more often now, so y'all got to keep up with it. Everybody in here, make sure you smash that like button. It helps my channel grow, and drop a comment down below and let me know what you think of the video. Today, as you can see, we are hopping straight into the groom. We did not record the bath. I did not record a before video. I didn't record an after video. This is literally just the groom, and I've slowed down the video drastically for everybody that keeps asking me to slow down the videos. So I've slowed it down, so this way you'll be able to see everything that I'm doing during the haircut, and I'll be able to explain all that in detail. Later on in the video, I'm going to be talking about a topic that everybody keeps saying in my comments. Let's get straight into it. So, as I stated earlier, I know I haven't been uploading as often and as frequently as I used to, but I've had a lot going on. I've been really busy, but I've been trying to get a video out at least once a week for y'all. I know that's not a lot, so I'm going to be doing better. I'm also going to be doing more shorts that I'm going to be putting out, so I know a lot of y'all like to watch those as well because it's quick and easy and straight to the point. But as I stated, I'm going to be uploading more frequently. I'm going to be pushing out content back to back, so just make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all smashing those like buttons, pushing this channel out, helping it grow so I can start to do this more on a full-time basis so y'all can get videos more frequently. But as you've noticed, we hopped straight into the haircut. So this is a bit of a different style video than I usually do. I know I usually show the bath, I usually show a before video, I usually show an after video, but this one is kind of just straight to the point. So this is just kind of the groom. I wanted to actually make sure I recorded this groom for y'all. Again, this is a really old video. This video I recorded back in, I want to say it was December of last year. Actually, no, it was November of last year. So I'm going back into my archives and trying to figure out all the videos that I did not upload yet and make sure I push all of those videos out, because within the next 2 weeks probably I'm going to be uploading new content. I'm also going to be switching my channel around just a bit, but y'all are still going to get the same kind of videos that you all want. But let me get into the haircut since I'm already pretty much getting through his haircut. Okay, everybody, so this is Cameron, and when his dad dropped off, he pretty much explained that he likes just a general haircut, nothing too fancy about it. He likes him nice and short and tight everywhere. So he likes him short on the body, short on the face, short on the ears, short on the tail. He doesn't like any fluff on him, even though it looks like he's gotten a lot. It's just that he's grown out quite a bit since he's been in last. So what he gets on his body, he gets pretty short. He gets a 7 blade on his body, and then on his head he gets a 2 guard comb, and on his ears I did a 1/2 inch on his ears, and I trimmed his ears to the leather. Like I said, they like him pretty tight all over, just so they can push out the haircuts a little bit longer and make his haircut last. And to be honest, he looked really cute in the haircut, so I don't really blame them for getting that type of haircut. Now, I know a lot of people want to know like which blade I'm using, what shears I'm using, and what am I using, because they are learning to do this at home. So for his body, like I said, he's doing a 7. On the head, I do a 30 blade with a 2 guard comb connected to that, and that is how you don't shave the head down to the skin with a 30 blade. You want to connect a guard comb to that. And then on his ears, I connect a 1/2 inch guard comb right along with that 30 blade, and that is how I do the guard comb. Now on his sanitary, I do a 10 blade. How I acquire that nice short smooth sanitary, it's clean, there's literally no hair. I mean, you can look and there's microscopic hair, but I like their sanitaries nice and short, nice and clean, because I like my dogs like that. I don't like mess. So when they're urinating or when they're defecating, I don't want anything caked up on their butt or any urine that's sticking to their fur and sticking to their skin and creating urine burn. So for me, I like a nice tight sanitary, so I do a 10 blade, but I do a 10 blade in reverse on their sanitary, so that takes it nice and tight without irritating the skin and cutting the skin. right there. I was trying to see if it like, because it's, oh, you know what, this was around Christmas. Never mind, I thought this was around November. This is around Christmas, so I made a mistake. But I was trying to see what will look cute on him for his pictures, but I ended up forgetting to put that on his head when I took the pictures anyway. But that's what you saw right there. I was testing out what looked cute, and that first little thing was like a little round white donut, but that didn't work obviously. But it was somebody else's in the salon and she let me use it. But yes, I do a template on the Sanitary. Way back when I used to do a 30 blade on the Sanitary, because I like a nice smooth Sanitary, but I stopped using that because it's just too close to the skin and I don't want to ever risk cutting a dog. So I just switched back to the 10 blade in reverse, and that gave me that nice clean Sanitary look that I was going for. Now on his paw pads, I use a 30 blade. Sometimes I'll use a 40 because a 30 and a 40 is going to get the paw pads the cleanest. When you are just learning to do paw pads, I do not recommend going to a 30 and a 40 blade because it's a very, very close blade and you can nick the paw pads. So I wouldn't recommend using a 30 or a 40 blade until you are comfortable using those short blades on the skin. You want to lightly scoop it. If you are just learning to clean out paw pads and do sanitaries, I would recommend using a 10 blade. That is the safest blade. At least that's what they tell us. No, but it is the safest blade, and it is less likely to cut the dog's paw pad or irritate the dog's paw pad if you don't know what you're doing. And for those of you that don't know, when you buy a set of new clippers, it always comes with a 10 blade. So if you're ever looking to buy new clippers for your dogs and you're like, oh, this comes with a blade, it comes with a 10 blade, do not shear your dogs in the 10 blade if you don't want your dogs cut down to the skin. Every clipper comes with a 10 blade. You can put a 10 blade behind a guard comb, but it just makes for a messy cut. So I would just switch right on over to a 30 blade. Get yourself a 30 blade and get yourself a set of guard combs. They do sell guard combs individually on Amazon. The wide guard combs that I use, Affordable Grooming Shears sells them individually. They also sell a set for it. But get yourself some guard combs, get yourself a 30 blade to go under those guard combs. Do not shave your dogs in a 30 blade. Do not shave your dogs in a 10. It just, please don't. Please don't do that to your dogs. And for those of you that are learning to groom your dogs at home, everybody who comes in the salon always asks, how do y'all get them to stay so still? How do y'all get them to just stay on the table like that? Most dogs come in from when they're puppies and they just learn to stay still. They've been getting groomed since they were babies. But what helps a lot is those loops that you see around the dog's neck. Right now, my loop is very slack. It's very relaxed, but that's because I know this dog. I trust this dog. He's not going to do anything. But a lot of people, I'm going to explain this again because I've explained this in one of my other videos, but I'm going to explain it again. A lot of people wonder why we have the loop at a certain tension on the dog. So if it's too tight, they feel like it's too tight, or if it looks too loose, they want to know what's going on. So if we have the loop set where there is no slack and there's no curl in the loop, it is because that is how we control the dog's movement. So if you leave slack in the loop for a dog that's wild, that's all over the table, there's a high chance that he's going to back up off the table, jump off the table, anything like that. That's another reason why a lot of groomers utilize the groomer's helper, is because it helps us control the dog. Now, with this company, they don't particularly like you to have the dog on the groomer's helper for the whole groom, but some dogs actually need it to help them calm down. Like, some dogs are like, okay, I can't move, well, just do what you gotta do. Now, other dogs are like, oh my god, I can't move, and they freak out. And then they calm down, and then you have those dogs that just freak out for the whole thing until you take them off. So it really all depends on the dog, but a lot of the times we have the loops a little bit tighter so we can control their movements so they can't fall off the table, so they have less control over the groom and you have more control over the groom, and you and the dog stay safe. So if you're looking for a good quality loop that will help you keep control of your dog and that'll last long, Pet Store Direct has really, really good quality grooming loops. There are a couple in there that I'm actually going to get for myself because I personally love them, and I've used a few. So Pet Store Direct, and Amazon has some too. Pet Store Direct is probably going to be a more cost efficient one. I haven't really compared the prices, but just from comparing prices previously with different grooming supplies from Amazon to Pet Store Direct, Pet Store Direct came up with a better price. So if you're looking for some decent quality stuff, look on there. So as I stated earlier, right now I'm going to be doing a 2-guard comb on the head. So that is 3/8 of an inch on the head, on the cheeks, and then under the beard. That is how I get my muzzle short. I do remember somebody asking me that, and I addressed them in the comments. But for everybody who wants to know how I get the muzzle short, I take whatever length I'm doing on the top of the head and the cheeks, and I run it under the chin in reverse, and then I scissor everything else neatly, and that is how I get the chin short. Now, let me just say, Cameron did so good for his grooming. He was a champ for everything. He was perfect until we got to his face and his ears. Something about his face and his ears, I had to correct him several times, especially when it came to his ears, because when I'm running a guard comb over the ears, the blade comes very close to the ear leather. So in order to not injure the dog or cut the dog's ear, you have to be very firm with these dogs, because something about when you're doing the ears, I've said this in several videos, dogs do not want to pay attention. They turn this way, they turn that way, and don't let somebody walk in the salon. Oh my god, you would think it was their owner, even if it wasn't their owner. So for his face, you will see me correct him several times. I do have to be stern with him because, again, when you are dealing with the ears, you're dealing with something that is very veiny. If you cut it, it bleeds a lot. Oh my goodness, it is ridiculous how much the ear can bleed if you cut the ear. So when you see someone dealing with the face or dealing with the ears, you're going to see them be a little bit more stern with the dog, because that is a very sensitive area. They have eyeballs there, obviously. They have a nose, lips. I mean, it's just, there are so many areas that you can accidentally nick if the dog moves around too much. So, like I stated, while I'm doing his face and while I'm doing his ears, you will see me correct him several times, because he kept trying to turn around and look at the people in the lobby, or somebody else coming in, or another dog walking by, or the groomer grooming the next dog at the next table. So that is why you'll see me correct Cameron so many times, because I need him to stay still so I do not injure him. So like always, if you guys have any questions about the Groom, any questions for me, feel free to drop them down in the comment section. Make sure you're liking this video so it can help me grow. We can get this video out to the algorithm. We can get more people watching the channel, and I can do this for you guys on a full-time basis. Drop comments down below. You all know I love chatting with you guys. Let's get into the topic. So the topic that I want to talk about today is something that I frequently get asked in the comments, and that is, why don't I shave the dogs before I wash the dogs? And me being completely honest and completely transparent, it doesn't frustrate me that y'all ask me that or keep asking me that. It just makes me wonder if y'all like listen or reread the responses that I give y'all, because sometimes it's a lot of the same people asking me the same question. And again, like I said, I love engaging with you guys. I love talking with you guys. I love educating and talking and learning from you all. The reason why I do not shave my dogs before I bathe my dogs is because it is not necessary. The only time I will pre-shave a dog before I wash a dog is if it is absolutely necessary. I just pre-shaved the dog last week that absolutely had to be shaved before it got washed because it was necessary. Now, for me, if a dog has tangles on the belly, I'm not just going to shave the whole dog. For what? For what? If the owner is saying, hey, you know, he wouldn't let us get the mats on his stomach, he wouldn't let us brush those mats out, but everywhere else in the dog is fine, I'm going to bathe that dog first. I'm going to condition that dog. I'm going to blow the coat out, and I'm going to demat that dog. Not because the owner asked me to, but because it's something that can be done without injuring the dog, without causing harm or pain to the dog. If you are dematting a dog properly, it's not going to injure the dog. If you are dematting a dog properly, it does not hurt the dog. Now, notice how I said if you do it properly. Not if you just do it, but if you do it properly, it does not hurt the dog. There's a certain way that you can demat a dog that will not hurt the dog. Now, if you are just raking at that dog's skin, yes, after a while, the dog is going to get brush burn because you're constantly brushing the dog's skin. The dog's skin is not as thick as our skin. It can be a bit thin, so when you're constantly brushing it, yes, it can cause brush burn. That's why I always say in the videos, when you are brushing out a dog, hold the base of the mat and then brush at the mat. Don't brush at the dog's skin, because that is how you irritate the dog's skin. So you always want to hold the base of the mat if you are trying to brush out a mat on a dog. You never want to brush at the skin, you want to brush out the mat. So when you see me brushing out a dog, it's because I know what I'm doing. Or if you see me brushing out a mat and let's say it's on the leg, you don't see me holding the base of the mat, I'm going lightly at that mat to lightly break it apart so it doesn't irritate the dog's skin, so I can get that mat out. If a customer says, hey, you know, we slacked up, we messed up, she's got a couple mats in her legs, are you able to demat them, or does she absolutely have to get shaved? I am going to do an assessment over that dog first to see where the mats lie, to see how bad they are, to see how close to the skin they are, and then I'm going to determine what I'm going to be able to do next. What y'all don't see in the video is y'all don't see the check-in process for a lot of the dogs. Y'all don't see me go out and put hands on the dogs just to kind of get a feel of the coat. I kind of feel in between the mat and the skin just to kind of see how close it is. And if I feel like it's something that I can do, I will do it. If I feel like, okay, I can feel these mats, I can get a 4-blade through it as opposed to shaving the dog down in a 10-blade, possibly causing razor burns to the skin. I'm going to wash the dog first. Also, when you pre-shave a dog, you are ruining your blades. You are tugging your blades through that dog's dirty coat. You don't know what's under that coat. It could be moles under that coat. It can be scabs under that coat. You have no idea what's under all of that fur. And you're pre-shaving it, and you're forcing your blade through it, because a blade does not glide through a dirty coat like it glides through a clean coat, which is why, again, I do not pre-shave my dogs unless it is absolutely necessary. If I feel like I can just wash this dog and blow it out and get something shorter through it, get something longer through it, I'm going to do that. Even if it just jumps up from a 7 to a 5, I'm willing to do it. I personally am willing to put in the work for my dogs, because that is just who I am as a groomer. Some groomers don't want to do that. Some groomers don't want to wash the dog with all of that fur on it. I am not one of those groomers. There is nothing wrong with the groomers that do that. I absolutely understand why they do that. I am just not one of those groomers. I do not mind washing my dog before I shave it. I actually prefer that, because I prefer to cut a clean coat once. I prefer to bring the dog out on the table to shave it down once. I prefer to shave down a dog's leg and fight with a dog while I'm shaving down his leg once. I prefer to do all of that once, as opposed to doing it the first time and then the second time. Because without a doubt, when you shave down a dog before you wash it, dogs get a brand new clean attitude. They know when they're clean. They know when they're cute. They know when they look good. So when you're shaving down a dog and you have to fight with them the first time to shave it down, then you got to bring them back out to do the finished cut, because the pre-shave is just a rough cut. So now I'm putting a dog through stress twice of shaving him down, when I know the dog doesn't like his legs being shaved down. So now I got to fight with him to do the pre-cut, and then I have to fight with the dog to do the finished cut. I don't want to do that. That is just my personal preference. Every groomer has their own preference. I personally prefer to wash my dogs than groom my dogs. It's just so much easier for me. I actually also stopped doing prep work. So the paw pads, the sanding, and the nails, I stopped doing that because it just adds more time to my grooming process. Take the dog straight to the bath. It is the quickest. You get them in, get them out. And the reason why I learned that is because I started timing myself, and I was like, wow, I'm taking a long time doing these dogs. It's because I was doing unnecessary steps. So now I just take them, wash them, dry them, pull them out, cut their hair, send them home. And that's it. And it makes the dog's life easier. A lot of people keep saying that, well, it creates more stress on the dog when you have to dry all that fur. That's not actually true, because if you're towel drying the dogs the right way and you're getting a lot of that moisture out of the dog's coat, you're actually going to end up drying the dog faster than you would if you pre-shave the dog. Also, pre-shaving the dog before you wash them doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting them the cleanest. When you are hosing a dog down with a shaved coat, depending on how short you shave that dog, the water is actually bouncing off of the dog's skin because there's no fur for the water to attach to. I know this, I've done this before. Like I said, it depends on how short you shave the dog, and it's not every single case. But it takes a little bit more to wet the dog with a shorter coat than it does with a longer coat. That's just my opinion. That is my experience, and I choose not to do that. I choose not to do it. Also, I personally feel like the soap doesn't lather as much if there is no coat on the dog. If you shaved all of that off, you're not getting the best lather that you can get. And I personally feel like I'm not getting the dogs as clean when I have a dog that is pre-shaved. So, on my channel, you will very rarely see me pre-shave a dog. The only time you will ever see me pre-shave a dog is if the dog absolutely needs it. If the dog is a pelted dreadlock mess. That is the only time you'll see me pre-shave a dog, is if he absolutely needs it, or if I feel like there's absolutely no way I can get a longer blade under this after I wash it and blow dry that coat out. Another thing that a lot of people should educate themselves on is matting. So when a dog is matted, a lot of that is dirt caked into the fur. A lot of that is dirt caked into the fur. So if you wash all of that, thoroughly clean it, and you blow dry all of that out, you can separate a lot of those mats into little smaller mats. That way you're able to either one, demat the dog if you choose to, or get a longer blade under those mats, and you can do a better or a cuter haircut. That's just my preference. So if you're ever watching one of my videos and you see me bathe a dog with long fur and you're like, why didn't she shave it? She should just shave it. This is why I don't just shave, because it's not necessary. I'm just adding more time to the grooming process. For me, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And I can do the same thing if I just wash the dog first, then cut the hair. So for me, pre-shaving is unnecessary if it's not necessary. Also, just to throw this out there, Australian Shepherds have long hair. Alaskan Malamutes have long hair. Border Collies have long hair. Collies have long hair. Rough-coated Collies have long hair. All of those dogs just get washed and they get hand scissored. So if they can get washed and then hand scissored, why can't these dogs get washed and then groomed? It's all the same concept. One bath just takes longer. The Border Collie, the Alaskan Malamute, all those baths take longer. Newfoundlands, they have long hair, they don't get shaved. It's all the same process. So please stop asking me why I don't pre-shave. That is not my preference. You're not going to see me pre-shave unless it's absolutely necessary. And if you see me pre-shave in a video, don't say, you said you would never pre-shave. That's not what I said. I said, I will only pre-shave when it's necessary. And that is my rant. Also, don't think y'all can't ask me questions. I love questions. I just don't like repetitive questions because I've answered the questions so many times. So please ask questions. Ask questions about the haircut. Ask questions about product. Ask whatever question you want, really. But if I respond to your question, please don't ask me the same question on a different video, because it's all the same. It's all the same. My response is going to be the same. But drop comments down below. Like the video. Let's get this video out to the algorithm. Make sure y'all watch those ads. I know some of them can be a little long. I do not pick the ads, you guys, just so you know. But watch those ads. That'll help me be able to do this on a full-time basis. And let's get back to the video. Okay guys, we are about to take a look at Cameron's finished groom. Like I stated earlier, this was just the haircut. There was no bath in this video, no pre-video, no prep work, no before and after video. It's just the haircut and then his finished look. This was just a little quick video that I wanted to throw up for you guys. I know quick doesn't mean 38 minutes long, but it's just a little quick video that I want to throw up for you guys and get this video out. Sometimes doing the voiceovers take a little bit longer, which is why it takes me a little bit of time to get the videos out, because sometimes with my busy schedule I don't have time to record the voiceovers. That's why I also asked you guys if you didn't mind some of the videos just not having voiceovers and it was just the background music with my intro and my closing. A lot of you don't want it, some of you will try it, so one of my next videos I'm going to do that, just the intro, some music while I groom. I'm going to explain the haircut during the grooming, but I'm not going to talk much on that video, and just do the outro, and we'll see how you guys like that. If you guys have any questions, drop them down in the comments. I thank all of you guys for being so patient with me and returning to my channel as I upload videos. I really appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Make sure y'all share this video, do all that fancy YouTube stuff, like, share, comment, turn on your post notifications. Let me know if you in the comments if you have your post notifications on. I'd love to know that. We are about to check out his finished look. I will catch y'all in the next video. Love you guys.
Oh, now you want to pay attention to me?